Welcome to the Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center. In 2004, a national level institute AMGITA has been started in the field of engineering and technology as per guidelines of All India Council for Technical Education AICTE New Delhi. AMGITA is approved by AICTE New Delhi, Gujarat State and affiliated to Gujarat Technological University Ahmedabad, which is also known as GTU. Our goal is to be an institute of generative ideas so that we remain relevant to our society. The AMGITA has always been an organization on move with continuous effort on improving its processes and to maintain its relevance to the Indian science scenario, with adding new programs in its programmatic portfolio. We strongly believe in overall development of students, so for that we provide them a different platform like state level tech fest, project fair, different sports activity, which helps students to teach teamwork and problem solving skills to get physical health benefits, boost self esteem, and reduce pressure and stress for prove their skills in distinct area. Welcome to the virtual class of Power System Operation and Control. Myself, Professor Gaurang Patel from Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Okay, today we are going to learn about the chapter 1 automatic generation and voltage control, and these are the points that we are going to be covered in this session. Okay, so here are the points are given, that is retrieve automatic generation control AGC, then understand modeling of various parts of AGC, then turbine generator modeling, load frequency control block diagram, then turbine speed governor system, calculate the steady state response and understand concept of droop control. Okay, so next in introductory part, we will see an interconnected power system where numbers of generators runs in parallel, and in we know that in interconnected power system there is more than one generator and they are running in parallel. The different generators in the system may be running at the different speed depending on the number of. And when you consider the hydroelectric power generators, which is operate at much lower speed compared to the steam turbine driven generator, okay, and but all generators have same electrical speed, means system frequency remains constant. So our ultimate aim or goal is to the frequency should remain constant. If system frequency is constant, it means that the system generation is balanced with the load demand. So further we will see in a power system the load demand is continuously changing. Okay, so in accordance with the power input it's also varies. If the input output balance is not maintained, a change in frequency will occur, so that frequency control is very important in interconnected power system. Hence the frequency of control is achieved through a speed governor mechanism. The role of governor is to control the relation between speed and load, and if the load on the turbine increases, the speed of the governor decreases. The frequency normally varies by 3% between light load and full load condition, and there is the ideal situation at where we can focus to control the frequency. Okay, in this figure you can see we have to maintain the frequency at the 50 hertz. This part that is the electrical demand, and this one you can see it is the electricity generation. Okay, so in between that we have to maintain this frequency at 50 hertz. It can be varied up to the 49.5 hertz to 50.5 hertz. If the limit is exceed then uh, we have to take some of the measure so we can make a constant frequency for that. Okay, so now here you can see that is the we will see how we can make this frequency at a constant speed. Here that is the turbine generator modeling, and from that turbine generator modeling we will see automatic generation and control, then block diagram of load frequency control, modeling of various parts. In that modeling we will see turbine speed governor system, turbine model, generator model, and concept of control area. Okay, so for we know that for any power system there are main four important components, that is active power, reactive power, voltage, and frequency. So these are, you can see, these are the main four important components, you can say it like that. That is one, that is the active power P. Just a moment. So four main important parameters, that is active power, P, second reactive power, third one that is voltage, and fourth one that is frequency. Okay, so these four parameters we always have to keep in mind to consider to maintain the reliability of the power system. These four parameters are very important. Okay, so over here we can see that active power P, that's proportional to F. That means active power P is proportional to F, and that means the active power depends on the frequency, and reactive power depends on the voltage generated by generator. Okay, that reactive power Q, that is depends on the voltage generated by generator. Now whenever you want to control these two parameters, active power and reactive power, you need to control frequency and voltage. Okay, so you have to control this active and reactive power generated. Okay, so if you control the excitation of the synchronous generator, you can control the reactive power, and if you control the steam being thrown to the turbine of synchronous generator, you can control the frequency. Now whenever there were earlier generator, there was a single machine is connected to the load, and it was a manual control. Now when the power system is becoming complex and the human interference becoming a very complex thing. Okay, so nowadays the power system is quite complex when you compare with the previous power system. So human interference is quite impossible to involve. Okay, so that's why automatic generation control is there. So you have to take the help of automation to control these parameters by some rules, bringing some automation to the system. That is nothing but automatic generation control. This automatic generation control is typically for frequency control, that will be called AGC, that is automatic generation control, and voltage control is achieved through another loop in power system, so which is called as automatic voltage regulator. Now what you must know when you are doing analysis of a single area load frequency control or two area load frequency control. Okay, when you are doing, just a moment. Okay, when you are doing a single area, that means over here single area load frequency control, that is nothing but, okay, so when you are considering a single area load frequency control, that is single area LFC, okay, or two area load frequency control, or when you consider a two area LFC, that is load frequency control, so it will become a more complex part. Okay, so it might be more than two area which are existing nowadays, that is possible to more than two area could be existed. So you must understand what is we have to do for that. Okay, so in that block diagram you can see that this is a load frequency control block diagram. Okay, it is a load frequency control block diagram. Over here you can see there are different parts, that is speed generator, steam turbine, generator and load. So at the output there is a delta F. Okay, so it is continuously monitored and it will be send it through the feedback signal over the reference signal, and at that point reference signal and feedback signal is going to be meet, and according to that speed governor is change the position of its valve, and then it will feed to the steam turbine, and steam turbine will adjust the generator and load. So that's how load frequency control is working. Okay, so in next we will see how this all system is going to be worked. Okay, so in India our system is working on the 50 hertz. So we always try to make constant frequency of 50 hertz, but it cannot remain constant always for the 50 hertz because there is a continuous change at the load side. So there is must be a existence of some control that will keep your frequency at 50 hertz. So there is some feedback which will measuring the error and continuously giving to the reference signal. So when output frequency will be changed, it will be sensed by this feedback signal. Okay, and the signal is fed to the speed governor and then error is being reduced. So here we are considering a single area. Now what is mean by that area? That area is called as set of coherent generator. And what is coherent generators? The generators which are behaving similarly. So here we are considering the single area system, and we will see that what is a coherent generators. Okay, as for the definition, that coherent generators, that is the behaving similarly, which is known as the coherent generators. Okay, means what they are synchronizing with each other and they are running with each other in synchronism with the same speeds. It's called as its coherent operation. Okay, so that particular area which is having coherent generator is called as a one area, that is a control area. Now generally if you see the area boundary generally defined by the utility boundary, so all the generators are in single utility or maybe a coherent generator. So when you are considering all the generators that may be in one utility, or they all are the coherent generators. Okay, so and here for the single area system what we are considering, there is a generator which is connected to the load. There is a generator which is connected to the load. Here we are represent over here generator and load system for a transfer function. Okay, in next slide we can see there is a turbine speed governor system. Okay, now we will see, just a moment. Now we will see the transfer function of the each block. Okay, here we will see the change in PC. Okay, that is the change in PC. Okay, so well, it is when that will be changed in PC, that it will be affected to the speed governor system. So what is the PC? It is the speed changing setting. Okay, this del PC is nothing but the speed changing, it is the speed changing setting. So as we have seen, we require a reference frequency. that frequency is reflected by the reference speed, and there is a presence of some speed changer setting in the governor system, and whenever we want to change a behavior of turbine generator system, we have to change that speed changer setting. So according to that we can change the governor system settings. Now what happen when we are changing the speed changes setting, we are going to see when we are calculating the steady state response. Okay, so now here we can observe one field that is coming from output of the generator, and that is nothing but the delta f of s. You can see over here that is coming from the output of the generator, and that is the delta f of s. Okay, so that is output of the generator that directly is feedback given to the input of the governor. Here you can see it will be directly given to the input of the governor. Okay, so this is the transfer function of governor, which is having gain and time constant. Over here that is, it is a ksg, that is the gain. Okay, and it is the tsg, that is the time constant, which is including in the transfer function. So speed governor shown by the ksg, and time constant over here it is shown by a tsg. And this 1 upon r, you can see it is the 1 upon r that represent the droop. Okay, and that is r parameter that is called as a droop. Okay, now thing to understand here is speed governor system is having a input as a speed changer setting. You can see over here in this speed governor system there is a as an input we are giving a speed changer setting. Okay, and the output is generally called as delta y. Here that is the output that is known as the delta y. So whenever you are changing speed changer setting, there will be change in valve position. So if you change this del pc, there is a change in valve position. Okay, there is a change in valve position, and due to the changing in valve position, you can change the flow of steam or flow of water, whatever you are throwing to the blade of the turbine. Okay, so governor response is decide the status of active power, and you see this statement is very important. That is, governor response is decide the status of active power. Okay, because whenever we are changing speed, we are changing frequency, and frequency is directly proportional to the active power. Your frequency which is directly proportional to the active power. Okay, so next to this in power system, your part is turbine. Okay, after the speed governor, you can see in the first block diagram there is a turbine is there. So next to this in power system, your part is turbine. So output of this speed governor system, which is del ye, this is the output of your speed governor system, del ye, and it must be given to the turbine. Okay, now we will see the transfer function of the turbine model. Okay, now over here, just a moment. Okay, so it is a turbine model. So here now consider this turbine model, generally two state turbine model, and for this kind of analysis, this two state turbine I will explain here. There will be a HP turbine and there will be an LP turbine. HP turbine, that means the high pressure turbine. Okay, you can say that HP turbine, that is high pressure turbine, and LP turbine, that is low pressure turbine. So HP turbine and LP turbine. Okay, now what happens, the steam comes from boiler on this HP turbine, that we will see. Now some work is done, temperature is reduced. Okay, so just to bring back again to particular temperature, that goes back to reheater, and from reheater again come back to LP turbine. So that's why it's being called as two stage turbine, because it is having a two stage. Okay, now for a two stage turbine there will be a definitely two time constant, but for the sake of easiness in calculation we are considering a single equivalent time constant here. So turbine is two stage, but we are using a single equivalent constant. Here again you observe time constant Tt, this is your time constant Tt. Okay, and then gain is here, that is Kt, that is your gain is given over here, and the output of turbine is input to the generator system. Now you can see there is the output of turbine, that is delta PTS, that is that becomes the input of the generator now. So what happens, okay, what happens when output speed of governor system is input to the turbine and output of turbine is input to the generator system now. So input is received from governor in terms of valve position change. Do you understand what is the input? That is in terms of governor speed change. Okay, so turbine model is very simple over here. You can see that is a turbine model, it is very simple with compared to the governor system. So let's see what is next. So now this turbine output is nothing but input to your generator system, and in generator system we are not simply considering generator, we are also considering load with it. Okay, so it is typically being called as a power system which is combination of generator and load. So this is being called as a generator load model. You can also say that is a generator load model, where there is a presence of another parameter which you may change, which you don't know, that is a demand. So change in demand is realized in transfer function. So change in supply minus change in demand is equal to accelerating power. So Pm minus P, you are aware of that. So Pm is nothing but input to the generator. Okay, so over here what I told you, that is Pm minus P. Okay, so change in supply minus change in demand, that is your change in supply minus change in demand. Okay, so that is the input of the generator. Okay, and that's how the governor will change its position according to that reference signal. Okay, now the generator is nothing but electrical power supplied to the power demand. So that difference between supply and demand is nothing but realized by acceleration power. So these things are realized over here, and output of generator load model is nothing but change in frequency. Okay, now we will see the generator load model over here. So in generator load model you can see that is a power system model where input is received from turbine transfer function, that we will see, that is input is received from turbine transfer function and that input is given to this generator load model. So here outputs results in change in frequency. So output of generator load model is what, that is the over here, that is change in frequency. So change in power demand is realized in the transfer function, and swing equation is used for the modeling system. Okay, and inertia and damping factor are two factors which deciding the system performance. Okay, so now this turbine output is nothing but input to your generator. Okay, and so this is being called as generator load model, and where there is a presence of another parameter which you may change, which you known as a demand. So once again, so change in demand is realized in transfer function over here. So change in supply minus change in demand, that we can see over here, that is it is the difference between that del Pm minus P. Okay, so it is nothing but electric power supplied to the power demand. So the difference between supply and demand is nothing but realized by acceleration power. So these things are realized over here, and output of generator load model, this output of generator load model is nothing but change in frequency. Okay, so if you want to express all the components together, so we have to take the complete diagram in consideration. So over here you can see it is the complete block diagram of all the system. Okay, in that we have seen differently from the beginning. Okay, so if you want to express all the components together to form the complete diagram, what will happen? These all diagram we have seen separately. Now that we have done, we just combine those. Okay, so here you can see this is our steam generator or steam governor, that first block, that is our steam governor or steam generator, and this is representation of turbine, and this is our generator. You can show it is the turbine and it is our generator. Okay, so we combine all things. We have seen that one feedback signal is taken from output frequency. This is the feedback signal which is taken from the output frequency. So now this is the signal, and this 1 by r, so this is related with droop. Okay, this is 1 by r, it is related to the droop. So this combination of governor, turbine, power system and droop is working for the load frequency control. So what we have done, we understood a separately blocks of generator, turbine and generator, and we combine all those blocks to form overall complete block diagram. Okay, now next we will see diagram for single area, and you can consider it is a single area load frequency control. Okay, now we will see the steady state analysis, okay, for the power system. Okay, so here it is the steady state analysis. What is when it is considered in change in load demand. By 4. Okay, so now you can see as per your power system characteristic, your value of d is very small with compared to the value of r. Okay, so you can put down d is equal to 0, so your droop becomes minus r. This is the equation for the droop. You can see over here, that is droop is equal to minus 1 upon d plus 1 by r. Okay, why it will becomes the minus r? Because as per the power system characteristics, your value of d is very small, so this value of d is very small. Okay, so with compared to the value of r, you can put down d is equal to 0, so that's why it becomes, this equation is becomes like minus r. Okay, so in this graph you can see over here, that is on x axis, that is the percentage of load, or you can say it is a change in load. That is on x axis, it is a change in load given in percentage, and it is on y axis, that is a change in frequency is given over here. Okay, now we understood, try to understood what this figure is telling us. Okay, now because that it is minus sign, you must have to a negative slope. Okay, due to this you can see, due to the value of d that is 0, and you will get the negative sign of r, so your slope you will get in negative characteristic. Okay, so this is nothing but the load frequency characteristic of single area load frequency control. It is the characteristic of single area load frequency control. Now we have shown change in frequency over the y axis and the change of load over the x-axis. Here you can observe there two settings. Okay, when our system is running on 60%, over here if your system is running on 60%, that means you have a 60% of overall load. So when your system is running on 60% of load demand, you can have 3% droop setting, that is your slope starts at 103%. Over here if you consider with this step and 3% droop setting will be there, so your system will be start with this 103%. You can see in the graph. Okay, so your slope starts from here. You can see your slope is starts from 103% and stops at 60% of the load, so that is a negative slope. Okay, now here you can observe my system load going to change at 100%. Now it will be changed to the 100%. So what happened over there? So that is the full load. Okay, at 100% you can see over here it is the full load system. For the full load system, when you calculate the step, you have to add the 5% of the droop, so it becomes at the it will become at the 105. It will start from the 100 at 105%. So as per your load demand, you may change your droop setting. Okay, you understand that as per your load demand you have to change your droop setting. So how you can change your droop setting, you can very well understood from this graph. So that facility is available, this is nothing but called as a load frequency characteristic of single area load frequency control, and this is nothing but your droop control characteristic is also. So if in exam it was asked to show the droop control characteristic, so you can represent this characteristic and make all the statements what I have told to you. Okay, so that now we will take our discussion at further level. So now we will see this discussion is related with change in demand. Okay, when we are considering delta pc in speed changer setting is 0, and that particular operation is also called as speed governor mode, because we are not doing any changes in speed changer setting which is a part of governor. So that is also called as a free governor operation. This is also known as a free governor operation. Okay, now we will move forward to the steady state analysis once again for the change in. Now we will consider the change in speed changer setting. Okay, so just a moment. Okay, so what we have to see over here? Okay, so now we are considering that change in speed changer setting. What happens next? Instead, in first case we considering d is equal to 0. Now over here we are considering del pc is equal to 0. Okay, so what happens if del pc is 0? Here we are considering del pc is equal to 0. That means there is no change in demand and there is some speed changer setting. So similar to our earlier del pd of s, there will be simply delta pc of s. Okay, and if you again similar by compared to earlier, what we can do here, your input will be delta pc of s. Here that is your input, that is nothing but the delta pc of s. Okay, and with knowledge of control system, you can calculate transfer function of this part and you will get the output frequency. Now the another discussion is, whenever you are calculating this thing, there will be two time constant. Okay, time constant of governor system, that is steam governor, and time constant of turbine. Okay, two time constant, that is time constant time constant of governor system, and second one is time constant of turbine. Okay, so time constant of speed governor into time constant of turbine is going to always be 1. Okay, so the time constant of speed governor into time constant of turbine is going to always be 1. So this kind of approximation we are doing for the analysis. And so here we we discuss about the conceptual understanding of single area load frequency control, and we also discuss about the different block diagrams and different transfer function. Okay, so this understanding is very useful whenever we are doing the steady state analysis of the power system. Okay, now next we will see. So here we are discussing some of the GTU question that was asked in previous year in GTU examination. So it can be asked as a draw and explain a net sketch of turbine speed governing system. It is also asked that is explain with speed governor system of turbine. They can also ask a yes, it is. It can be asked to explain steady state analysis or transfer function of power system or speed governor system. Okay, and it can be also asked as draw and explain troop characteristic. Okay, so such kind of questions you are able to answer with the help of this video lecture. Okay, so thank you very much. And if you feel any query regarding this video lecture, you are free to ask any questions in next session. Okay, thank you very much.